There's stiff competition for powerful, lightweight laptops in the over $1,000 price range, including Apple's latest M2-powered MacBook Air and MacBook Pro, plus Dell's ever-reliable XPS 13 line. But Acer just butted into the conversation with its newly redesigned and ever more powerful Swift 5, $1,499, which has experienced a significant glow-up. It packs a lavish new design with golden trim plus a powerful 12th Gen Intel Core i7 chip, a gorgeous 1600p display, and a startlingly swift 1TB SSD on board. It's also cheaper than its notable rivals when comparably equipped. There are a couple of caveats to consider, but the latest Acer Swift 5 is a very strong overall pick given its $1,499 price tag. Debuted at $1,499, now can be found for $1,000 or less. The latest Acer Swift 5 comes in a single configuration, SF514-506797T, via the official Acer web store, Amazon, and Walmart. It packs a 14-inch LCD touch display at a crisp 2560 by 1600 resolution, along with an Intel Core i7-1260p processor, 16GB RAM, and a 1TB SSD. It's priced at $1,499, though we've seen it selling for as low as $999 at retailers like Newegg, and you may be able to pick it up for less with an Acer promo code. The Swift 5 has eye-catching gold accents that set it apart from the competition. It's even lighter than Apple's latest MacBook Air model. The Acer Swift 5 has taken on a number of luxurious tweaks that convey a premium allure. Whereas the previous Swift 5 design was fairly generic, the latest version has beautiful edges with a double anodized gold treatment, complete with a diamond-cut line pattern that Acer says features cuts that are thinner than a human hair. Paired with the mist green surfaces, the Swift 5 stands apart from the ultra-thin competition without looking overdone or garish. It's a smart color duo that's subtle and stylish, and the small, gold Acer logo at the top of the outer shell matches the thankfully understated allure. Unlike Acer's cheaper notebooks, such as the Aspire 5, the firm has shaved some of the bulk off of this 14-inch laptop. At 12.2 by 8.4 by 0.59 inches and a mere 2.65 pounds, it's a little thicker and wider than Apple's new M2 MacBook Air model, but it's a smidge lighter than that 2.7-pound rival. Despite the light weight, the Acer Swift 5 has a hardy, sturdy-feeling build, thanks to its aerospace-grade aluminum chassis. Like Acer's more affordable laptops, the Swift 5's keyboard is elevated slightly when you open up the device, as the base of the display nudges the back of the notebook upward ever so slightly. It's a subtle enough lift that most users probably won't even notice it, but anyone who hates a fully flat keyboard should appreciate it. The 14-inch panel is crisp at 1600p and plenty bright and punchy. It's a 16:10 screen, so it's a little taller than a typical widescreen panel. The Acer Swift 5 screen is a stunner. As mentioned, it's a 14-inch panel at WQXGA resolution, 2560 by 1600, or 1600p, which means it's quite a bit crisper than your typical 1080p panel seen on the vast majority of laptops. At that resolution, text and graphics look super sharp throughout. It's a 16:10 aspect ratio, too, which means the screen is slightly taller than typical widescreen, 16:9 dimensions. That's mostly a win in my view. Sure, you'll get black bars on the top and bottom when watching standard widescreen video, but the extra screen real estate is much appreciated when it comes to web surfing, writing, and other productive pursuits. At more than a 92% screen-to-body ratio, too, there's not a lot of space wasted on bezel around this beauty. Thankfully, the Swift 5 doesn't disappoint in terms of brightness or vividness. In our testing, we measured an average of 457 nits of brightness, short of the 489 nits measured on the M2 MacBook Air, but still plenty bright. LCD IPS panels like this don't typically pack as much of a punch as OLED rivals, but at 131.7% of the sRGB color gamut and 93.3% on DCI-P3 color space, it's a bold panel that I struggled to find fault with. It beats both the M2 MacBook Air and Dell's XPS 13 OLED on both marks. The Acer Swift 5 comes with a touchscreen standard, too. Truth be told, I'm not someone who wants to put a bunch of fingerprints on my computer screen, nor do I find a touch display especially useful on a laptop that doesn't convert into tablet form. But it feels plenty responsive, and you can use a stylus for annotating documents, sketching, etc.